1,000 days and counting. Sentinels.
This could be it. Another chance for G. It's all over. EG are your Valorant World Champions.
By all means, Valorant should be dead by now, so why is it still so popular? This game came out nearly 5 years ago and it was a massive shock to the tactical FPS genre. Quite literally everyone wanted to play this game, but it's been a long time since I and a lot of you guys have had that feeling, which begs the question, what's actually wrong with Valorant? Before we get into the video, I want to preface it with the fact I care a lot about the game, and that's why I felt like this video needed to be made. Take this as criticism, not hatred. Over the course of what's already been the better part of 5 years, Valorant has had its ups and downs, but now it just feels like it's at the lowest point it's ever been, both gameplay and community wise in my opinion. The biggest factor leading to poor gameplay currently is how prominent utility is. When Valorant was first released, it was promised that the game would be based around precise gunplay and that utility wouldn't be more important than shooting your gun. But obviously, a lot of you know that's not the case anymore. This has been a trend going on for years. Pretty much ever since the chamber meta went away, the game has become incredibly utility based. And if you don't believe me, here's what Tens had to say about it.
Do you know what happens to a pro player when they're playing this game? This right here. Bro, you see that? The fucking Power Rangers, bro. Do you see that they used all their fucking special moves with the same shit? Bro, what's going on? Shit's flying all over. Look at him, this poor dude. What happened to him?
Now, utility becoming more prominent never felt really bad to me until one of the most recent agents released Taeho. Playing against a Taeho and Breach combo in rank is unironically one of the least fun things ever.
Yo, what the fuck is going on?
And it's probably even worse if you're a pro player. I honestly don't even find it fun to play Breach or Taeho either. This type of gameplay isn't fun for anyone. It's just how the meta is and feels like. Some of the best moments I've had in Valorant have always been the crazy plays I could make. But with each agent that releases with crazier utility and cringier gimmicks, you're gonna feel less and less of that special feeling that made Valorant so great years ago. And honestly, I think XQC hit the nail on the head here all the way back in 2023.
They make the initial game have a bunch of characters that all do like, hey man, here's some healing, heal. Hey man, here's a flash. Wow, that's exciting. And then at the game is released, they release new characters. Every new character, the guy goes in the walls, transforms into a dog, goes underway on a subway station, makes a new world, makes a new game, transfers realm, quantum mechanics.
Now, I'm not part of the balance team and I probably can't come up with a solution as good as they could, but I truly believe gunfights need to feel more rewarding when the gameplay is unfun. It's only going to amplify every other aspect of the game that's poor into the spotlight of being criticized. Which brings me to my next point, Valorant's monetization. A lot of you guys would be shocked to find out when Valorant first released, bundles like the Prime, Sovereign, Reaver, and Ion 1.0 actually costed 7,100 credits, which is the exact same bundle price point as their 2.0 versions as well. So now you're probably wondering, what's the problem here? Do skins just feel more pricey nowadays, or are they actually more pricey? Well, in these bundles, apart from the Prime 2.0, the knife skins have gone up nearly 1,000 credits in each bundle compared to the price of the original bundle. While the bundle prices have stayed at 7,100 credits, you pretty much have to buy $10 more worth of Valorant points if you just want the knife in comparison. In these bundles specifically, the knives used to cost exactly half the bundle price, and nowadays it's closer to 2/3 of it, which makes you feel like you should buy the entire bundle instead of just the skin you want at this point, which is 100% a marketing tactic used by Riot to sell the entire bundle instead of people just buying things they like out of it. It's like they're trying to force the full bundle price down our throats by being like, oh, it's only $25 more than the knife, I might as well buy it. Let's keep in mind now, 7,100 credits is the equivalent of $70, and for $70 you can buy incredible games like Elden Ring or Black Myth Wukong and still have money left over. These games aren't asking you to spend $100 every few weeks either. And back in August of 2024, the VCT Masters bundle released at a price point of 6167 VP. This bundle generated $44.3 million, half of which went to the Masters teams, but I feel like this is a good point of reference for how much Riot might actually be making off these bundles it's insane. One thing I just noticed is that the VCT 2025 bundle that came out just a few weeks ago is sitting at a bundle price of 58.50 VP, but this bundle quite literally just has the knife and some buddies. How is this the same price as the Masters bundle? I get it as a few player cards and buddies, but the knife is obviously the main allure here. Making people pay $60 for a knife skin is insane. Now let's look at some of the other games real quick. Let's take Fortnite for example. Their skin prices are a fraction of Valorant's while maintaining the game completely fine, releasing consistent updates, collaborations, and a battle pass that feels rewarding with items you want to get. Or how about a direct competitor in the tactical FPS genre in CS2? While some skin prices in CS2 are much higher than Valorant's, you can literally just sell them back at any time on either the Steam market or third-party websites and make most, if not all of your money back almost immediately, and sometimes even profit. Also, if you just want some alright skins on CS2, I'm sure you could find them cheaper than buying skins in Valorant while keeping your money. And finally, I'm gonna look at Overwatch 2. I'm not an Overwatch 2 expert by any means, so feel free to correct me on this, but getting a hero skin in that game usually costs between $10 to $20. And on top of that, you can get them for free from loot boxes in-game if you're patient enough, something that Valorant doesn't even have. All these games are much more affordable to own skins than Valorant, and I think that's where a lot of the distaste from bundles come from. Constantly asking your player base to spend $70 to $100 on bundles is out of the norm in gaming, and it just feels really greedy. And while we're comparing to other games, it seems Rainbow Six and Apex Legends are releasing new updated versions of their game, but when it comes to Valorant, we're still waiting on a replay system. And I haven't even gone to the Radianite issue yet. If you're a new player to Valorant, you probably see some of the awesome bundles in the shop and think, oh wow, these skins are awesome. And maybe you buy one only to find out that you have to upgrade the skins you just spent $100 on, and unless you've been stacking up your Radianite points for a while, you're going to need to either buy it straight up or buy the battle pass. While the battle passes are only $10, there's almost never anything to look forward to in them apart from an alright looking knife if you're lucky. I'm pretty sure a majority of people who buy the battle pass only do it for the Radianite, since the last good knife was the Ruin Dagger. I think if Riot wants to make a quick win for the community, they need to revamp the battle pass entirely. If you're gonna ask for $10 every 2 months, then it needs to be way better than it is. I truly believe if they're just adding a couple animated skins in here with a decent looking knife, they'd make way more money than they do on it now and give players something cool to look forward to. I think the worst part of the monetization system is how much things cost with how little content actually comes into the game. The only things that come out now are a new map or an agent every once in a while, and to be honest, I think people are a bit bored of these. The last map, Abyss, was a total letdown in my opinion, and it's already been taken out of the map pool. Teo was incredibly unfun to play against. This guy has an invisible drone that suppresses you and rockets he can place anywhere. At least abilities used to take some level of skill. His abilities are literally just plug and play. And when was the last time we saw a new game mode in Valorant? Not to beat a dead horse, but the game could really use a bit of excitement to get people more engaged, or just something to play that eases the tensions of ranked. If you don't feel like playing ranked, your options are either playing unrated, which is unranked version of ranked, a shorter version of unrated in swift play, or deathmatch, which is basically people that just play to get better at ranked, and Spike Rush, which has been in the game since the release. Valorant actually used to have other game modes as well, like replication and snowball fight, but I guess they must have not been popular enough to justify doing more. I feel like a lot of people enjoyed these game modes as well, and they were overall positive for the community, so I don't see why they'd stop doing it. I don't think the current devs working at Riot are lazy or anything. In fact, the ones that I know work extremely hard, but for the amount of money this game is generating, I don't think it's fair for the player base to be getting as little as they do. It's like crumbs compared to other games, and I'm not going to continue beating on this dead horse, but the replay system was announced in 2021, and we're currently in 2025, and it's still not out. And in my opinion, with a AAA company like Riot Games, a 4-year turnaround for the replay system is just unacceptable. Something else I definitely find unacceptable is the new agent Waylay. Her ultimate ability is a different variation of Fade or Breaches. Her dash is obviously based off of jets, her teleport is a slower version of Chambers, and the projectile she throws is pretty similar to a Tejo or a Neon Stun as well. There's nothing that really feels new about this agent to me, and it just feels like they've recycled abilities that look a little bit different now. Back in the day when Yoru, Chamber, or Reyna released, People were so hyped up for an agent that was different. But Valorant agents hardly feel like that anymore. They're all about doing similar things to each other, except just a little differently, with the occasional broken ability. Moving on, one personal concern I have with this game is now how dead NA ranked is. According to the track wrap, the game is seeing pretty high numbers right now. So why is it that there weren't even 500 radiants placed in North America by the end of last act? As far as I know, this is the first time this has ever been the case. I personally think it's a culmination on everything we've talked about in this video so far, and the state of ranked on top of it. When you queue into a ranked game, you have a pretty high chance of getting a thrower, someone trolling, someone who's depressed, or someone who's just incredibly angry for no reason. The ranked culture is really unfun if you're just a normal dude trying to queue up and have some fun on the game, which I think the majority of people are. Also, I think the game hasn't really attracted as many new players as we'd like, and if you're someone who's a teenager when Valorant first released, chances are you're probably in college or working a job now at this point and don't have as much time to grind. At this point, it really does seem like the only thing Riot puts a lot of effort into is VCT, skin bundles, and Vanguard, I guess. Pretty well in isolation, which makes me wonder why they don't put the same amount of care and effort into the game itself. Is it a lack of resources, or do they just not care? I feel like it might be the latter. The people higher up in Riot must not see the game as worth investing more into. With the lack of content releasing, a ton of Valorant creators I know have given up on the game. There's a lot I can say about why a bunch of my friends have quit this game, and there's a ton more creators that are talking about quitting soon behind the scenes. And as a creator, this game is very limiting when it comes to creating content people will actually enjoy. Your options are pretty much smurfing, educational content, or eating slop, which makes most people quit. But with all this said, how is Valorant still alive? Well, I think the answer is Riot actually is doing a great job of doing what they truly intend to do. You may not think it's calculated, but it is. They've built huge esports brands in Valorant, which constantly brings new players to the game that are competitive players, not casual, who will put in the hours and end up spending money on skins. Plus, they added crossovers like the Arcane series, which were a massive success, and added the Arcane skins into the game. The players who do play Valorant also put in an incredible amount of hours and money compared to other games. Let's use Elden Ring for example. The game will cost you about $60, and while it's not live service, the monetization is extremely cut and dry compared to a free game like Valorant. I have a friend who's literally spent $11,484 on Valorant. That's just one player. In short, Riot Games have some of the best marketing in the entire gaming sphere because they know what keeps people talking about their game and how to continue bringing players back, which really does show us that even with the lack of content we feel we're receiving, it doesn't matter. As far as the player count is concerned, since the brand identity they built for the game is so strong, there is still millions of people playing this game daily, and it's in fact currently on an uptrend as I'm writing the video. This is the true reason Valorant will never die, despite what it feels like at times.
Champions!